Hey guys, and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about how we homeschool. Okay, so I wanted to go into a bit of detail about how we actually homeschool our kids. For those of you who might be just starting out and are looking for some ideas on how it actually runs for people, I know when we started out I had absolutely no idea what we were doing. I just didn't have a clue. We hadn't planned to homeschool, so I was just so curious to see other people just doing it and in action and what they do with their kids and how it runs. Homeschool is different for everybody and there are many different ways to do it. So we are an eclectic homeschooling family. We take little bits from lots of different methods and apply it to our home. We are, I would say, pretty relaxed about things, although we do definitely have structured learning times. We love Charlotte Mason, probably in particularly. We do hands-on Montessori inspired type activities, and we also do unit studies, and we use work boxes but not in the traditional original style. So I will run over with you how our days go, and eventually I'll do a day in the life video so you can actually see us in action and what we're doing. So basically there are three parts to our day. So after we've done breakfast and all of those things, the kids have done their morning jobs like brush their teeth, get ready and that kind of thing. Usually I would like them to have a bit of playtime before we start. But basically when we're all done with all of that, we come into our homeschool room and we gather around the table on the floor. Everyone grabs a cushion to sit on and we do our read aloud. So I grab my basket of books and sit at the end of the table, and the kids grab some crayons and some pencils and that kind of thing, and they will draw while I read. Sometimes they might do puzzles. Most of the time they draw, but we have done Lego and other things like that. But I find drawing is probably the least distracting for them, so they can actually listen to what I'm reading. So we spend I like to spend at least an hour reading to the kids in the morning, so it just depends on the moods of the kids. We have littler kids too who, my 4-year-old will come and go. Sometimes I'll put play school on for her if she's really fidgety, but most of the time she will just play or do puzzles in and around us. Normally at this point my baby is sleeping, for those of you who have lots of different kids and are wondering how it all kind of works. At the moment we're in a pretty good rhythm with baby sleeping while we get most of our schoolwork done in the morning. So we do about an hour of reading first. Oh yes, said Silky. The only thing we must be careful not to stay there too long in case it leaves the faraway tree and we can't get down. But Moonface says he will sit by the ladder and give a loud whistle if he sees any sign of the land moving away. So then the kids will normally have a little bit of a break. We might have a bit of a snack and that kind of thing, and then we all come back to the table, and the second part of our morning is we will either do unit study or a nature study type thing. So we will either read from our nature study book, which is Wonderland of Nature at the moment, but most of the time this is the part where we will do our unit study. So at the moment we're doing a unit study on Africa, so we will read from books for our unit study, or we will do an activity, or we'll talk about it, or that kind of thing. This will normally go for about 20 minutes maybe, depending on how into it the kids are and how much we're talking about that topic. So that is the second part of our day, and again we will have a break after this. If it's sunny, the kids will run outside and go and jump on the tramp for a little while. But yeah, that we need to have a couple of breaks during our morning, otherwise the kids will go crazy. The third part of our day is I've got notes, our work boxes. So this is the kids' independent work. So this is where we cover our maths, language arts, we do Spanish sometimes, handwriting. If at the moment I've got a 6-year-old learning to read, so I will lay out in the work boxes, so the drawers basically, with the different activities and projects or things that I want them to complete for that morning sort of thing. So basically they work through them one at a time, and I will kind of rotate between the kids. My Oldest doesn't need as much help, but so sometimes he will go into another room with a clipboard and his work, and then I'll work with the 9-year-old and the 6-year-old. So they just work through some things they can do by themselves and some things that I will be there to help, like my 6-year-old. He doesn't do very much actually. He's only doing maybe 20 minutes max. He's very energetic and doesn't want to sit still, and that's totally fine. So I'm just encouraging him to do some reading activities with me, a tiny bit of handwriting, tiny bit of maths, but mainly reading is what I do with him. So I might actually show you a clip of the different parts of our day, so our morning read aloud time, so you can see just a little bit of how that looks, and of our work boxes just quickly. Okay guys, so I just wanted to show you our work boxes. This is how I organise the kids' daily work, or work for the week rather, and each day they run through these boxes, and once they are finished with them, they are finished for the day. As I said before, this is the third part of our day. So I will quickly show you, say in my middle son's drawers. So basically I set them out so that they have some independent work where they don't need me and some work where they will need my help. On top we just have these maths dictionaries which the kids might need to help them. So in drawer number 1 we have handwriting, so that's something that they can do independently. Drawer number 2, this is a word spelling activity that my son has done, so he will just work through these. They have pictures to go along with the words. These are PH words, so it's a spelling activity, and he writes those on that piece of paper and lays them out on the mat. Those printables are from the Montessori print shop. Okay, and the second drawer is a maths activity, and this is a file folder game that I've made for him, and that is just some random times tables, pizza multiplication. Sometimes he will have worksheets in there and other things. That's what he did today. The third drawer is read aloud, and he read me a different book actually, but this is a different thing in here that he can read to me as well. So that's read aloud. Then he does Excel, grammar and punctuation, sometimes spelling and vocab is in there. And the last thing is his Spanish book, or Spanish work rather, which he didn't do today by the looks of it. But that's okay, I don't expect them to do Spanish every single day, but we do try and do it. So that is how I would lay out his work. So he just works through them. If he needs my help for anything, then he just calls me, because while he's working on that, I'm usually working with my youngest son because he's learning to read. So in his drawers I have, at the moment I made this file folder game, which is a phonics activity which he absolutely loved today, and this is, I'll put the link below where I found this, and I'm going to make some more for him because he really enjoyed this activity. So the different shamrocks have a word, and he will read the word to me and then place it where it's supposed to go, behind the rainbow. So we had a lot of fun playing that today. So that was one of his reading activities. Second drawer is some sight word cards that we did together. And then he did Teach Your Monster to Read. I don't know if you can actually even read that. Not focusing, which is a website that he has been really loving lately, and then that's all he did today. That's all. He's a really active 6-year-old, and I don't expect him to do very much, so I do lay out more drawers for him. So sometimes if he's really getting into it, we will continue on. So most of the time he will read to me some of these little readers, and we write them in his book. I'm sorry if this is not focusing, it's my other heavy camera, so and then he has this maths basic book which he works through, but again, to me at the moment the priority is getting him to do a few reading activities with me, and the rest, he's quite good at maths anyway, so we don't push him. I don't believe in pushing kids. The other thing he was doing was this colouring in page, which is sight words. Just hang on, sweetheart. And so he was working on that one too, and that's all. The rest is just little things, or colouring in things or drawings that he puts in the bottom shelves. So that's his drawer. So mainly I will be working with him. The other two kids will be working through their work boxes, and I will just go through go between the three of them. So that's how we work through our work boxes, and that's how we lay it out. Once the kids have finished their work boxes, they're done for the day, and they know that. So they know that once we get to the workbox stage, so they know that once they've done that, then they're finished for the day, and they have the rest of the day to do whatever they want. So it's encouraging for them. They know they're almost finished. Today the work boxes took about an hour and a half, and most of the time we'll start at around 9 o'clock and we are finished by lunchtime. So we pack up the schoolroom and then we all go for lunch, and they have the whole afternoon to do whatever they want. They have different projects. Like today my son designed a game and they were playing that. Now the bubby's having an afternoon nap, so the kids are on, they're allowed some free tech time in the afternoon. So yeah, afternoon, sometimes we'll go for a walk when bubby wakes up and that kind of thing, but it's raining today, so we probably won't do that. So yeah, that is basically how our days go. So if you guys have any questions about anything, I'm more than happy to answer the questions. Just put them in the comments below, and I hope you found this video helpful, and I will, as I said, put some links in, some clips in of us in action, and I'll do a day in the life video really soon as we're kind of gonna have a good day kind of thing, if everybody's happy and well and that kind of thing, so you can see us in action. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!